12 years ago, Dinah and Stig and their two boys, Dali and Yossi, rented a two-bed council house in Hertfordshire. Stig was a stay-at-home dad and Dinah was in a low-paid job. The couple had a passion for living a low-impact lifestyle, and their ultimate dream was to buy land and live off it. Dinah also feared that her two boys might fall in with the wrong crowd and was desperate to give them the freedom of the countryside. However, their financial situation made this impossible. But in 2008, Dinah received an unexpected inheritance of £75,000, money that could make their dream a reality. While the family had a substantial deposit, they still couldn't afford a mortgage. So instead of looking for a house with land, they searched across the country for a small agricultural plot. They settled on 4 acres of overgrown pasture with a dilapidated barn, paying £47,500. This left them with enough money for livestock, crops and materials. With no house on the land, the family turned up in a horsebox they had owned for many years and modified it into a temporary home. When I last visited the Masons, they were still living in the same converted horsebox.
This is presumably kind of the living room, dining room?
Dining area, living space, very much zonal. So we've got separate areas. It's very important when you live like this, so you have separate areas for things, so it feels normal.
So who actually built all of this?
Stig.
By hand?
Yep.
With help?
No, it was Stig, and me maybe holding stuff and the kids getting in the way, and yeah, no, Stig did it all.
The conversion and extension into a compact family home cost just £2,000. The horsebox also contained the boys' bedroom.
So this is where it all happened.
And the kitchen.
It's a proper galley kitchen here.
Yes. We cook everything from scratch, so it kind of needs to be functional. Do you want to see my shower on the way past?
Yeah. Oh, look. The shower's in the kitchen.
So my shower's in the kitchen due to space issues.
That must be quite amusing. Someone's in there naked, showering, someone's cooking.
But when you live like this, you know, we're kind of all used to that.
I love it. You haven't made life easy for yourself, but I love it.
Well, it's all a bit multi-purpose, isn't it?
Multi-purpose, yeah. We'll get on to hopefully peeing somewhere else.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
assuming
for sure.
You're not saying there's going to be a bucket in here.
No,
Okay.
you're all right. You haven't got to come in here and pee, Ben, don't worry.
Okay.
Fortunately, the hand-built compost toilet was around the back of the horsebox. The Masons lived largely off-grid. Solar panels provided all their electricity, gas canisters were used for cooking, and water was their only mains connection. The family's utility bills had plummeted from £100 to just £25 a month. They might have owned the 4 acres they were parked up on, but I was taken aback at just how compact and unforgiving their living arrangements were.
It's quite intense for 4 of you.
Yeah, winter's great. When it rains for 3 months on end, it tests your patience to the max, and not just as parents. We kind of dragged our kids along for this ride, and, you know, this is our life, this is what we chose to do, so you have to make the best of it.
That was just me and Dinah in there. So imagine 4 of them, height of winter, mud everywhere. Like, we've got a relatively large house in West London where we've all got our space. I've even got a little kind of shack in my garden where I get away from everyone, dogs, family, whereas all you've got there is a tiny curtain. And if you're having a shower, you don't even have that.
I'm back in Devon with the Mason family, who in 5 years have gone from living in a cramped horsebox to this magnificent renovated barn.
Oh, wow! I'm almost lost for words. This is just amazing. It's got echoes of the horsebox, if I remember all the books.
Yeah.
Oh, you must be so proud.
The barn is fully off-grid, with solar panels providing electricity and a range heating the water. There's an open living area and kitchen, a fully functioning bathroom, and it even has 3 bedrooms.
So what would you say was the best thing about finally moving in here?
Running hot water.
Hot running water, for sure.
Do you all agree?
Separate beds.
Separate bedrooms.
Yeah. But no, running hot water, it's, you never get over running hot water after not having it for so long.
8 years we did without hot running water.
So, yeah.
Do you still have to pinch yourselves when you see what you've created?
When you've had a really hard day and just get in a shower without boiling pans of water.
And also, this space is so well insulated, keeps cool in the summer, and you don't have to heat it that much in the winter.
Well, this is truly amazing, I have to say. It feels like you've been here forever.
Yeah. I think that we, well, our aim was to make it feel like a barn, and I think it does.
And we put a lot of effort into it.
Yeah.
A lot of effort into the building of it, and a lot of effort into the, well, I suppose the decorating of it.
And all the wood has come off the land, all the shelving and all the staircase stuff has all come off the land, so...
And do you think that the effort you put into it enhances the satisfaction?
Without a doubt. It makes it, you do feel like it's paid off, and it just makes that just a little bit extra.
Well, I have to say, looking around, you have to be the best Red family I've ever spent time with.
Well, if you have a garden and a library, you have everything you need.
Wow. That's all I can say. I really wasn't expecting this. I know it's been 5 years or so, but you have to imagine the amount of work that's gone into this, the planning permission. They've done this themselves, limited resources, limited finances, and they've created something that, A, looks like it's been here forever, and it's so loved. It just puts a big smile on my face. Lots of times I revisit people, the arc has gone down a little bit, but the arc has kind of shot through the roof here.
On my last visit, I saw for myself the mammoth task that lay ahead for the masons.
Is it supposed to be a bit longer over here? Cut back to the cutting table.
Yeah.
You're not what I'd call scatty, because you couldn't have created this here, I don't think, if you were scatty. Are you just more ad hoc? That's how you described your lifestyle right now.
We take it in turns to be scatty, I think that's the thing. Like, sometimes Stig's all over the place, and then other times I'm all over the place, and generally we're not all over the place together, so it works.
Right.
Are you ready now?
Take 2.
When the masons bought the orchard, it was designated as agricultural land, which meant they couldn't live here.
Oh, look at that, Stig.
Yeah?
It's a beautiful thing, it's spot on.
Cool.
Can you see why my barn's taking so long to do?
That is really not fair.
I'm only teasing.
Tell me a bit about this whole battle you had. For a start, what was the battle and why did you have it?
Legally, we couldn't live on the land. And we knew there was an outside chance that if the council got involved, we'd be kicked off. But we didn't really bank on a couple of the neighbours that took a big aversion to us being here.
Some of them saw dreadlocks and a lorry and thought all sorts of things about us.
What do you think they thought? What does that mean? What do people think?
They thought that we were travellers and that we were going to turn the place into a traveller site. They thought that we had rocked up in May, we were going to spend the summer prettying up the place, and then come winter, hordes of travellers were going to arrive. And obviously, they didn't want that in their back garden.
The council served them with a notice to leave the land just 28 days after their arrival. This was just the beginning of a 4-year legal battle.
We dug our heels in and said, no, we're going to stay here. And so we put in a planning application, and the legal side of things kind of stops while the planning application is dealt with. So it's all about buying yourself time, because the longer we were here, the more stuff we got done on the land.
Their dream was to build an eco-friendly straw bale house, but the council refused permission. 2 days before Christmas in 2011, they served the family with an injunction to leave the land.
It basically came down to the crunch. The first option was to dig ourselves in here, have a massive fight, and probably lose, probably scare the hell out of our kids.
Possibly end up in jail.
Yeah, and possibly end up in jail.
Which is never really conducive to family life, is it?
Very good parenting, really.
Being in jail.
Or sell up and do something else. Or to do what we did, was to move off the land.
Yeah, and hope.
And just hope.
At the end of 2011, the family packed up and left, ending up in a caravan they'd been given on the other side of the village. Stig continued to clear and cultivate the plot, but no change was in sight. The masons got the break they needed in 2013.
It needs to be right on the end, in between the 2 red marks.
By a huge stroke of luck, the planning laws changed, which meant they could convert the barn into their new home and legally live on the land during the build.
What was it like when you finally got that permission?
Well, I probably did cry, actually.
Did you?
Yeah, I think I did.
Was it really emotional? Was that...
Yes, because we were 90% certain we'd get it, but there was that sense of relief. You know, you could feel the weight just lift off your shoulders, and then, yeah, I sort of stopped whooping and jumping around and phoned Dinah straight away to tell her the good news. It was amazing, it really was amazing.